093 Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith Perspex Top Saloon by Hooper 1951-59. In a world of shattered monetary values and yet much improved cars, the Rolls-Royce still stands alone. Perhaps the most striking general thought in considering this supreme machine today is that it has a name more universally honored as a symbol of quality than that of any manufactured product. The Autocar, 9th of December 1949. Rolls-Royce's first post-war model, the Silver Wraith, debuted in late 1946 and employed a chassis similar to that of the Silver Dawn and MK-V Bentley, though with a 7 longer wheelbase at 10.7. The Wraith, however, was only intended for traditional coach-built bodies rather than the MK-V's pioneering standard steel bodywork. Powering Rolls-Royce's post-war range was a new 4,257cc 6-cylinder engine of cast iron, monoblock construction with aluminium cylinder head featuring overhead inlet and side exhaust valves. Only the bore and stroke dimensions were shared with the pre-war overhead valve Wraith engine, the major advantage of this F-head layout being its large valves and generous water jacketing around the valve seats. A 4-speed manual gearbox with synchro mesh was standard initially, an automatic option, for export models only at first, not becoming available until 1952, at which time the engine was enlarged to 4,566cc and a long wheelbase, 11.1, version introduced. Manufacture of the short wheelbase Wraith ceased in 1952, with a total production of 1,144. The long wheelbase version continued until the introduction of the Phantom V in 1959, by which time 639 chassis had been completed. The last word in motoring luxury in its day, this wonderful Silver Wraith was commissioned by flamboyant multimillionaire, Nubar Gulbenkian. Armenian by birth, Nubar Gulbenkian, 1899–1972, was educated at Harrow and Cambridge. Heir to a Middle Eastern oil fortune and one of the most colorful socialites in austere post-World War II Britain, this larger-than-life bon vivant was renowned for his extravagant lifestyle and penchant for witticisms, once famously declaring that his custom-built London taxicab could turn on a sixpence, whatever that is. In his younger days, Gulbenkian favored fast and expensive sports cars, only turning to Rolls-Royces in the post-war years, although his taste in coachwork was often bizarre. Built by Hooper & Co. in 1947 and dubbed Pandiknukan, Gulbenkian's first Silver Wraith looked more like a futuristic military vehicle than a Rolls-Royce and is surely one of the ugliest ever made. Quite what Hooper, carriage makers to Queen Victoria and King Edward VII and arguably the finest of all British coach builders, thought of the car can only be imagined. Rolls-Royce were not amused. Continuing to favor the Wraith chassis, Gulbenkian confined himself to dramatic variations on Hooper's standard offerings, which included a 4-door cabriolet and a sedan de ville, the latter featuring full sage green lizard skin trim. Arguably the most dramatic of Gulbenkian's Rolls-Royces though, is this car, left-hand drive chassis number L74, which has 4-door saloon coachwork, again by Hooper. Intended for use on the Kaiser, this car is unique and has a transparent Perspex roof with an electrically operated fabric inner blind to keep the interior cool. The interior woodwork and dashboard are trimmed in leather, a hallmark of all Gulbenkian's cars. It has a speedometer fitted in the rear passenger compartment, while Gulbenkian also specified air conditioning, electric windows and a television set, although the latter is long gone. After Gulbenkian sold the car, it appeared in the 1964 motion picture, Les Flins, released in the USA as Joy House and the UK as The Love Gauge, which starred Jane Fonda and Alain Delon. The car was sold again in 1968, on this occasion to Rand Gordon, owner of La Belle Étoile Dance Hall in Nice, France, where it was repainted in bright yellow and kept garaged in the building's basement. Around 15 years ago, the Gulbenkian Rolls was recognized for what it was and purchased from Mr. Gordon. Tapes of Les Flins were reviewed and the decision made to restore the Wraith to its former glory. Completed towards the end of 2007 by respected marque specialists Frank Dale and Stepsons, the recommissioning work included a full retrim and repaint to the original specification, reconditioned chrome and a full mechanical review.